Hello, oh, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a three. And in this particular video, I want to talk about PhD acceptance reactions or the emotions that you're actually going to experience when you get your acceptance into a doctorate program or any sort of graduate school program. So if you don't know me, I'm a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship. And I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There were so many people that helped me out to get through graduate school that I thought I'd pay the favor forward. So I just wanted to tell you what the experiences are when we go through and do this whole academic thing. It's really tough and scary and frightening. And I just want to let other people know that you're not alone in any sort of way. So what are these emotions that you go through when you get your PhD acceptance or any sort of graduate school acceptance? Um, the first feelings that you're going to go through when you're sending in your application. Well, when you're sending in your application in the beginning, you don't know what you're doing, and you're kind of piecing things together. You're trying to make sense of what's going on, but you don't really know. And then what ends up happening is you send in your application, and then you start freaking out because you're like, oh, should I have done this? Should I have done this other thing? You start doing a lot of second guessing, and you have a lot of fear and uncertainty in your belly. My belly is down there, but in my belly, when you're actually doing this kind of stuff, and you're like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. And then what will happen is nothing will happen for a good month or two, and then all of a sudden you'll get this email or letter back from the institutions that you applied to, and then you're going to be really excited and nervous, and you're just going to feel a lot of um, just a lot of that pent up energy in you of like, oh, this is really cool. Somebody wants to talk to me about my application, and so you'll go through the interview. And when you go through an interview, what you'll do is you'll second guess yourself even more. Um, Once you get accepted, you're just going to be really excited, but you're going to go through all this sort of second guessing of like, I should have done this, I should have done that. Maybe if I would have applied here or applied there, all of these kind of things are absolutely normal. And we go through all of these experiences where you're second guessing and you're thinking about, well, maybe I should have done this thing differently. Totally normal experiences, right? Like don't be overwhelmed at all. And then when you actually do get this acceptance letter, you're going to be so excited, and you're just going to want to tell everybody about the fact that you got into a graduate school program or a PhD program. But here's the trouble. You can't tell everybody. So if you're like me, I actually was working, and I had a real job working in a real position doing real things, especially if you're doing a PhD in business. That's going to be most of you are going to go through this experience. Maybe you're a consultant. And so you're going to have to like hold this stuff in, and you can't tell anybody. And so you have to kind of like disclose selectively when you can tell people. So you're kind of like excited, but you can't really disclose to other people why you're excited. And so it's kind of this really confusing. And I was really confused. I didn't know when I should tell somebody, and going through all of those experiences was kind of unique and different. And it's kind of like that you're going to do something wonderful in a year, and you can't disclose to anybody that you're doing that wonderful thing. And so you're just kind of pent up, and you just have a lot of nervous energy. Then when you tell other people, it's kind of like a relief of like, oh, I don't have to hide anything from you again. And then you'll go to the PhD program after that, and you'll be really nervous and excited to be in the program. And you're kind of going to go through a lot of uncertainty of like, well, how do I move there? What do I do once I get there? Who are these people going to be like? Like a lot of things like that, especially if you are like me in any sort of way. You're going to just feel a lot of, it's an adventure, right? Like at the end of the day, you're doing an adventure, which is really fun. But at the same time, you have a lot of emotion that comes out, and you're just trying to deal with this emotion. And when you get there, there'll be about 2 weeks that you are going to be kind of really excited because you're meeting all these new people. And they're usually, so if you go to a PhD in a business school, usually the people are really exciting and different, and like There was an Olympic athlete in the one that I was in. There was a ex football player. Right? There was, somebody that that was, quite sort of well versed in their ability to sort of communicate and stuff like that. Like, there was just lots of wonderful people, and you're like, wow, like here's me, little old me, going to this kind of program, and there's all these wonderful people that are clearly outside of your league, right? You're going to be really excited to meet all these people and talk to them and just get to know them and find out who they are, which is really neat, right? That you're actually getting to know these people from different experiences and stuff like that. And then at about 2 or 3 weeks in, you're going to feel like you're going to be very overwhelmed and you're going to not know what you're going to start questioning yourself. Like, why the heck did I do this? I mean, I'm reading so much and overwhelmed by all this work. And I don't know what to do. And I just want to do well, but I can't. And I have all these other things going on. And, you're just feeling really blah at that moment, and you're starting to get second thoughts, and the second thoughts really start to kick in about a couple of months in, where you're like, maybe this isn't for me. My point is, all of these emotions, and I could keep going like this. This is a normal experience when you do a PhD, if you go into graduate school. All of these emotions are absolutely normal. So I want you to think about that as it's normal. And lots of people really, they describe doing a PhD or doing graduate school in general as an emotional roller coaster. Because what will end up happening, I guarantee this will happen to you many, many times. This happened to me many times. It happened to most people I know at many different times, is you will go through this funk where like nothing will go your way. And it's kind of like life, right? But it's in your face a little bit more. So you go through a funk where nothing seems to be going your way, and it'll be a couple of weeks, a couple of months even, where just things are, you keep getting, bad news and things like that. And then all of a sudden one day it'll turn and you'll get this like acceptance letter, or you will get, you get into a conference, something wonderful will happen to you, and then you'll feel absolutely elated. So you're feeling down, and then you feel really excited, and you're like, I did this thing, I got in, I did this, like it's just wonderful experiences that you actually go through. And so you're constantly going up and down, because it's, it's this journey that you're going through. And know that the analogy is like if you're climbing a mountain and you're going through kind of like a valley where it's really tough and you're not really getting anywhere. It doesn't seem like that. But then you crest a hill, and all of a sudden you go look around. You can see that it's this beautiful scenery all around you. And that happens all the time when you're doing the PhD. And, it starts when you get that acceptance letter, or it starts when you actually start applying to going to graduate school, where you start thinking about graduate school. That emotional part of it is a very real part of graduate school and a very real part of life. But, you have to sort of deal with those emotions and get through those emotions. And just know you're one of many people around the world that is experiencing the exact same thing. Even people that are in your program, they're going to say, oh, this is so easy and all that kind of stuff. It's total BS. Like, don't listen to them at all. And they're struggling as well. And you'll find out that they're struggling in a few years. You just don't know it at this moment. They're just not disclosing and being real to you. So that's all I want to point out, is you're going to go through all these different wonderful reactions. Some of them not so nice, some of them nice and exciting, but just accept it and kind of go with the flow and just really relax. Know that this is part of the journey. Absorb these emotions and just go. Just have fun. All right. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do appreciate it. And take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.